Hello and welcome to 12. This is Dr. Harris, and we're starting a new and final unit in the class, so I wanted to create a short video to walk you through the components of this unit. When I say short, I mean hopefully short. There are a lot of components, so I'll go through them as quickly and as thoroughly as I can. I'm starting here on our course website for week 12, where you're going to be building your team and selecting your topic for a project that I switched the name of just slightly. So if you go to your schedule for the course, you'll see that it was a proposal, but what it actually is writing across platforms. So what you're going to do is take one kind of idea or a concept and kind of play with writing across multiple types of media in this last project for the course. So like all the other projects, we both will create final products and practice the process of creating those products. And that process is very methodical. And this week I've assigned you to teams, and you're going to work with your team in week 12 to build your team, so get to know each other. You've already done some peer review with each other, so you should be familiar at least a little bit with your teammates. And you're going to select your topic and the kind of project you want to work on. I'm going to give you a couple of examples here on the website. Let me highlight this part here of previous student projects and what problems they've addressed. So I've had a nursing team use SBAR, Situation Background Assessment Recommendation Method, in order to effectively pass off patient information. I've seen a really great project on how a programming team can improve data sharing using clarity, conciseness, and correctness, especially coding information. And then last term I had a group who actually, one of the members had an insurance business, and they talked about how they could use Slack, which is a communications platform, to streamline what they saw as inefficient interoffice communication and document storage. So what you're looking for in this first week is not only to develop your team, but also to think about what's a real world problem, either that one of you has had in a particular workplace. You could absolutely use something that you've experienced, or something that you might experience given your knowledge of your field. And for those of you working collaboratively with people in other fields, you might think about something maybe you've experienced even at UALR or in a different college or university, as long as it's tied to a real world problem. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of real world problems and how some organizations have chosen to address those here in the website. The first one here is the MailChimp style guide, and a style guide is a way for communicators to make sure that when they're communicating from an organization, they're all doing the same types of things. I'm going to click on that now and show you. This is actually a really excellent style guide just in general if you ever need help writing technical content, and you can use it for this this class, as a matter of fact, as you write maybe for social media, or think about creating content for what would be an email that goes out through a listserv. MailChimp style guide is kind of one of the standards in the field. But what MailChimp did was they had a problem with clear, consistent communication across teams and channels. You might have this at your workplace. In fact, if you are not a technical writer by trade, you probably have this at your workplace. So maybe MailChimp would be a solution for your workplace. It's a Creative Commons license. For those of you who don't know what Creative Commons is, as long as you use information on a website that's Creative Commons attributed, you can use their content for free. You just have to say that you're using this guide. So this guide is how MailChimp dealt with their problems with communicating effectively. It could also be possibly a solution that you could pitch in your across platforms project to a company or workplace that is having trouble with that kind of work. Several of you did projects in your last explanation project that dealt with teamwork or group work. You are fully free to do something like this for this current project as well. So let's say your group's really having trouble or you've worked in a group that has had trouble with communication and teamwork, and so you want to focus in on helping an organization be better communicators. So you come up with some methods that they could use to be better team leaders or be better team members. And this is a website that actually walks people through the problem of team performance. So look over this. One of the things I linked this in for is not only for just this really clean web design, like short, to the point information, embedded URL or embedded YouTube video, and just kind of clear design. So this could be something you could do. You could put together a website that has kind of materials to help a team walk through better small group activities. Team discussion will be the first activity that you're going to do this week. And as I said, we work not only on the product but the process. Working well in teams requires a really concerted effort that is clearly laid out at the beginning of the teamwork and followed through consistently. And what this first activity is going to do is help you to start thinking about how you can work as a team. And this takes into account your busy lives. And so in this week, say, I can't be online, I can't be working Monday through Friday because I have a regular job. So I can only work at night or I can only work on the weekends. But here's what I can do for this team. So instead of just kind of checking out or not working effectively, plan around the way that you need to work in your lives and avoid, if at all possible, what's captured here in this. I guess it's kind of a meme. It's a Twitter post. What often happens in small group work. So some people do one half, some people do the other half, and then you put them together and it's going to look like this. It needs to look like this, and there's not a lot of actual product production in this assignment if you think about it. It's mostly thinking about how the same material is going to be communicated in multiple ways. So it needs to all work together like this and not look like a website like looks like this and a video that looks like that. So in this website, I lay out how you can be working together in this week itself in order to lay out the next 4 weeks of the project. And we're going to work with concepts that have been created by a woman named Joanna Wolf. And she has a book called Teamwork that if you were ever working with teams in a work environment, it'd be great to buy for the team. But I've just excerpted chapter 2 and chapter 3 for you to read for this class. And this is going to lay out why you'll need to find a project manager. You need to have task schedules and deadlines for individuals in the group. You need to build in some kind of meeting minutes. This is going to be really important for if you're doing meetings that are synchronous. So using Zoom, using Skype, any of those things. What your decisions are should be noted by someone and put into your team folder. Document everything. And this is just a general guideline for life that I've found in the workplace is document, document, document. If you meet with someone, put it in writing, send them an email. Hi, I just wanted to go over our meeting of October 30th, and this is what I took away from it. Here's my action items. This is what I'm going to do next. Do the same thing anytime you work with your teammates. Document an email. If you're doing texting with each other, document that. Anything that lets your colleagues work together with you and know where you're at in the process. Sending out emails, reminders, and notifications. That'll be a part of your group. Your team manager or someone else should be in there saying, hi, Bob, just want to make sure you're on track for our Friday deadline, blah, blah, blah. So this kind of team document that we're going to create at the beginning, this team charter, is going to be laying out all of those pieces for your team. And chapter 3 has more about what in particular the team charter is. I'll let you read through that on your own. You'll have Google folders for this project, just like you did for peer reviews and other projects. And those are located in your drive. I'm going to link those into here as well. And they're also linked in here on the course schedule. So you can either access your team folder through the course schedule, or you can access it through the website, or I emailed it to you on Sunday, so you should be able to get it through your email as well. The first person in the folder should create a Google Doc, and you're going to practice discussing in that Google Doc. So just type in whatever you want to say in the main body of the text, and then if you want to tag someone, what you can do is, and I'm just going to use this schedule as an example. The schedule is a Google Doc. Let's say you need to talk to Jennifer about something in particular. What you can do is highlight a section of your discussion, click on the add a comment, and say, Jennifer, I need you to address this point. Then you can either assign that directly to Jennifer, which means that that person will be notified and she'll need to mark that when she's done. I'm just going to do this, Jennifer. You're going to probably get an email here in a minute. Make sure that they have commenting privileges, and then you can share and they can comment on that. I'm going to just do this so you can see what it looks like. So this is assigned to Jennifer now. She's going to address this point, and when she's done with it, she's going to mark that as done, and that's going to hide that discussion up in this comments area. I'm going to create a separate Google video that walks you through how to work together in Google Docs to make your work the most effective, but that's just one way that you can use that as a discussion piece. The last thing I wanted to deal with in this video is that you're going to have to, pretty early on in your discussion, find a meeting time in week 14, which is November 13th through 18th, to have a meeting with me. I'm going to set up a link for you to go in and be able to reserve time with me in my Google Calendar. But you'll want to get together with your group this week, even though it's 2 weeks away, and decide what a good online meeting time is, depending on how much time you want. I schedule meetings in 30-minute increments. 30 minutes is usually enough for most groups to walk through what they need to walk through with me, but that's time for you and I in an online, a Zoom meeting, basically a video conference, to walk through any issues you have with the final projects before you get those final projects into me at the end of November. So that's all for this week, what I wanted to walk you through. The team charter and action plan is laid out here, so you can work through that. The Wolf text, and I've clicked off of it now. Let me see if I can go back to it. This Joanna Wolf text should have an example of what a team charter looks like. I'm going to scroll down here. Here's a kind of preparation worksheet that you can work through if your team's having trouble trying to decide how to get started. The charter that this team has created is here. Yours can look something like this, but just remember, whatever you lay out here, you're going to be checking in on in your week 13 progress report, and then at the end in your reflection. So whatever you do in this team charter is what I'm going to need to see that you followed through on for the class. I think that's all. I'm going to create another video of how to work in Google as a team that should help you be able to navigate the team Google Drive folder, and then some of the Google Docs that you'll be working with in the course. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing your projects. Have a wonderful week 12, and I'll be working on grading your explanation projects over this week as well. Bye-bye.